Hey everybody, thank you for joining us here at the Partner Connection where we're connecting one family at a time. I have with us today myself, Amherst Miles, also our wonderful co-host, Mr. Isaiah Zimmerman.
Hello, hello.
And we also have Miss Memory Bacon. Bacon. I am so sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks?
Well, hello. My name is Memory Bacon. I am currently a program manager with Morehouse School of Medicine in the Health Promotion Research Center, and we focus on providing educational type training programs for people in the community.
Oh, okay, that sounds wonderful. So you say educational training programs. What kind of programs do you offer?
So currently, Morehouse Medical School, a School of Medicine, actually focuses on training people to be physicians. But in our current department, we have programs that focus on community health workers. Right, training them. I actually manage such a program.
Okay, that is nice. So as far as community health, you mean public health workers and...
Correct. It's a leg of public health.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but people who are actually out in the community, face-to-face with people they know, trusted members.
Okay, that sounds great. Do you have any certain type of criteria that you have for these classes?
I sure do. So for our particular program, we are focusing on Clayton County. So we are recruiting people from Clayton County, GED, high school diploma. Some have college degrees. We have taken some with graduate degrees. These are people who are really interested in giving back to their community and providing resources to the community. We understand that Clayton County is one of those counties that has high levels of health disparities, where they don't have access to a lot of things. And a lot of that comes from their lack of knowledge on how to access those things, right? If they don't have a local grocery store, then they won't have access to fresh food and produce, and it then affects and impacts their lives with their health and nutrition. And you have heart problems, you have diabetes, you have things of that nature. So we train these people in these social determinants of health to be able to focus on where people live, work, play, worship, and help them sort of manage their environments. Right.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So,
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it does. And that sounds like a big impact on the community for you guys.
Correct. It is. I'm really happy about this particular program because, like I said, in Clayton County, with the health disparities the way they are and the people really having this need, we have these people who we're going to train over the next 3 years. We're going to train 120 new community health workers, and those community health workers will then be able to go back into Clayton County with community members that they know, people in their neighborhoods, and help them locate and get these types of resources that they need. Right, that impact is great because they empower these citizens to now be able to say, oh, if I have to go to the doctors and I have this community health worker who is actually helping me and part of my care team, right, who's helping me get access to these facilities and resources, after a while, they can then navigate those lanes themselves, right? Yeah. And I think that's what it's about. It's empowering other community members to help empower their neighbors.
And so how long have you guys been in the Clayton County area working with them?
So this is a 3-year grant. We're finishing up year 1. So we had to recruit and train 40 community members for this first year. And of course, with, life takes over. So we've had a few that did drop, but we have 35 who will be completing the program.
Oh, that's great. That's
yes,
great.
35
that's great.
who will be completing the program in this first year. And Isaiah, that's how I met Mr. Zimmerman. He found a flyer about our program, and we were able to partner to actually offer field training to our community health workers. For this particular training program, they go through 20 modules, but it focuses on everything from mental health, care management, all types of diseases, right? So that they are very well versed in these different areas so that they can take this information to and resources to their community. Another part of this is coming together with community engagement and teaching them how to actually do community assessments, and then, plan community events to bring the community together to help get those resources to the people that need them. And meeting Mr. Zimmerman, he was able to come in and say, oh, listen, let's partner, because we can then have your participants come here and actually get that hands-on training where they are actually now, everything they just learned in the modules, they are actually applying it and getting together this whole community health fair event.
It does sound great, because I do remember you being a part of our first community health fair that we had with Miss Tiffany.
Yes.
And then I think you will be a part of the next one, correct?
Yes, definitely. I think this is a partnership that will be long after this grant, even other grants. I think this will be a really great partnership.
I definitely think this is very beneficial, especially for we were talking about this yesterday, the undereducation and underemployment in Clayton County.
Yes, definitely. And that's the really unique area that this has, because, we take retirees, we take veterans, we're actually training them in a new area where they can now, these are employable skills. This is something a lot of the health systems here in Georgia and foundations and organizations are currently hiring for community health workers. They have different titles, maybe a health navigator, maybe a home health worker. Those are all titles that circle around community health work.
And so, especially with this being a new project, what challenges have you faced within the first year, not just alone with the, startup, but also with the participants and with...
So, this is Morehouse School of Medicine. So this curriculum, it's outstanding. Our innovation lab at Morehouse School of Medicine created this curriculum to it's intense. But at the end, when they get that certification that they are a community health worker from Morehouse School of Medicine, it's going to matter, because we stand on this program. Right. And some of those challenges, and we have, these are older people, some of them who are in the workforce in other areas, and it's a time commitment. It's if you say, okay, I'm signing up for this program, and you work a 9 to 5. Well, it's about time management, right? You dedicate an hour or two in the evening, which is hard when you have a family that you have to raise. You have to come home cook for the kids and things of that nature. So that was a bit of a challenge. But what I can say about this current cohort is that they did wonderfully. Right, it was a little lagging starting off, but that can be that's expected when they're starting a new program and they have to get acclimated to, okay, I have to have a routine now, right? Because it shifts slightly from the 9 to 5, just going home and being with the family. I have to build in some time to study. There's reading and modules, and it gives you a pre-exam and a post-exam, so that we need to gauge where you are before you start this module and how much knowledge you've gained once you've finished it.
That's
right?
Amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So what I'm hearing is these are self-paced classes.
Correct. It's
Okay.
online, self-paced, although we do have a schedule. This first cohort actually completed the curriculum portion in 12 weeks. They're now in their field training portion, which is 5 weeks. The next cohort, because I listen to feedback. I listen to what these participants had to say. And so, we pivoted a little bit. So the next cohort will have 15 weeks to complete the curriculum, right? I thought, okay, let's give them a little bit more time. If certain modules required a little bit more time, then okay, you get longer than a week to complete it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. It does sound good. So what you were saying is this takes discipline, guys.
Yes.
Discipline. It has to be built in, and you have to take time out of your day to invest in yourself, is what I'm hearing.
Correct. Correct. I think and we're all better for it, right? Imagine the good you're going to do when you you get this certification and you can actually go back into your community and be of service. And in some shape or form, as parents, even on your job, you're always sharing information about resources about. Right. We're community health workers and just didn't have the title of it, right? Yeah. And now you're going to actually learn some really great information to be able to include with those things that you share with the community.
And I must say, the groups are very engaged, and they have really taken the time to put together excellent stuff for the event that we're having on July 29th. They're really taking the time. I was like, okay, they might going to do that, but involved. But they really got involved, really been creative, really got some partnerships, really got resources together to have. And, one of the things that we want to partner is, how do we bring people to the table? Because sometimes we just say health fair, people are like, I don't want to come. But you have other things associated, and then you throw the health fair in there, or whatever you want to achieve, because it's easier to, get people when they relax in a different atmosphere to say, hey, why don't you go check out your blood pressure and stuff. We find very much success with combined programs or combined different things, that we have. So this falls in line with our health initiative that we have at our office. And so Morehouse is, like I said, a perfect partner for what we're trying to do and what we're trying to engage in. This will be our last week doing our weekly call.
Yeah, we have weekly calls, and Isaiah's great because, he has updates for them where he is working things behind the scenes. And, we've told them that, just us talking about the finance part of it, you have these community events where we want to bring the organizations and people in the community together to try to raise funds to help people in need. And these participants had to actually get out there and basically, go to the churches, go to the organizations and say, hey, can you donate this? We're having a health fair for these people, right? And so, I think it all comes full circle with this program.
That's right.
Well, your program has sounded like it is amazing, and I am so excited to see the impact that it's about to have, because I know once it hits the ground really good, it's going to blow.
Correct.
So what are your dreams in the next 5 years for this program? Where do you see this going?
So this is a 3-year grant, right? So I see this other grants actually coming from this particular one, where we continue to train people to be community health workers in different counties, right? I know there is talks of another program coming up for Fulton County soon. Well, I think it's necessary in all counties. I think if you can empower the people there in those particular communities where things and resources are lacking, to actually be able to provide and help people locate these resources, right? I think, the ramifications of it are just like endless, right? You can do so much, and you can actually change people's lives by providing them with these resources and helping them advocate for themselves. And I think that's a big plus for this community health worker program. It teaches you how to advocate for people, but then you take that knowledge to the community to help them advocate for themselves.
That's wonderful.
That does sound wonderful, Miss Memory. So is there anything else, any more information that you would like to share?
I sure do. We're actually recruiting now for the next cohort. And yes, the application is open and will be open through August. And we're actually going to start interviewing.
Miss Memory.
Yes.
So I know we were just recently speaking on your current cohort. Can you just go ahead and tell us what they're up to? What's going on with them?
Sure. So as I stated previously, they finished the actual online portion of their training, and now they're doing the hands-on training. So we have 35 participants who are split up into 6 groups. So we have them, one group is working on heart health, right? And how to provide resources and information to the community on how to access these resources and things that you should work on and look for heart health, right? Eating healthy. I have another team that's actually working on mental health. And we know how important that is. And especially in our community where it's not always us going to go get help. We don't willingly go sit before a therapist to discuss things, and if we're going through crisis, right?
Right.
So they are providing resources for people to say, listen, we understand. I mean, it's been tough out here, especially with COVID, right? And depression is something serious that we suffer from. So here are some resources that you guys and different things you can look for to say, okay, listen, if I see this checklist and I notice some of these things are happening with me, then maybe I need to go ahead and reach out to get some help in this particular area. We have one team working on not just nutrition and access to healthy foods, but exercise. Right?
Yes.
How you can take a few minutes a day and, you can sit at your desk. I mean, we are at our desk all day, just taking some of those wellness breaks, get up, take a walk. If you can. If not, hey, you can pick up a book, a nice weighted book, and lift and do curls, but just teaching people that, you can actually incorporate some of these things into your life wherever you are, right? Just so that you can, be held accountable for your own lifestyle and your own health, really, right? Yeah. When you don't have access to healthy food, it becomes a problem. We have those local stores, but they're so expensive, right? Yes. And then the food is processed and it's not healthy, so when you're hungry, you go in there, you may grab chips and things of that nature, but you don't have access to those fresh vegetables that kids need, right? So that not only are you working on your health and nutrition, but you're also providing this for those little ones that's coming up behind you. Right. So what else? What is another project? Because there's so many that they're working on.
They had a lot of projects going on. I want to say also they was talking about the we talk about the food and nutrition, offering snacks. One group was actually going to have some snacks and things that we've been able to partner with, some healthy things, smaller packages, which is also good, when you just need enough to get by energy-wise. I mean, so, some of those going to be offered too as well. And we also trying to get some local vegetables and stuff too to offer, so that we can get those out to the families, that in need. Because like I said, one of the things, like you said, is access to food. Food is very costly. That's right. And the healthier the food, the costlier it is.
Exactly.
And so we want to kind of be an embargo for all those things to happen, and also bring awareness that this is an issue for a lot of families, especially our families that live in hotels. I mean, just think about they may not even have a refrigerator in the room, so they have to eat what's there.
What's there, and it's day to day for them, right?
Yes.
And our groups will be providing recipes to them, like simple, quick recipes. I have one group who is really focused on that nutrition, but they have provided bus routes all throughout. So we're going to be providing bus routes. They actually looked on Metro, and so we have bus routes. Okay, this is how you can get to your local grocery store, right? Because people may not know how to access that information, so we're going to bring that information to them.
And that's also really good because I know Clayton County has several food deserts. So giving them access to be able to get to food will be very beneficial.
Correct.
And I know we were talking earlier about, community healthcare workers. Can you just give us a brief overview?
So a community health worker is a frontline public health worker who is a trusted member of the community, so this is the standard definition, or has a lot of knowledge of that particular community, right? So you think about these people who live in Clayton County, right? They have a great knowledge about their area, what's needed, what's missing. I mean, this is what they see every day. Right. So, these are trusted members, your local barber who cuts all the kids' hair before school starts. Right. Those are good people who could take part in this particular program, because when you're sitting in that chair, you may discuss with your barber, oh man, I need to be able to access SNAP, or I need to be able to find out where there is a local grocery store or something along those lines. Well, that barber has that information, right? Because he's a certified community health worker.
Oh,
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Are y'all trying to involve more churches too as well?
Yes, more churches, more men, right? We want them here because what we do understand is that, you know, we accept that knowledge and we are able to accept it from people that look like us, right? You know, whereas men may not always feel comfortable getting information from a female and vice versa, right? Yeah. So we are all across, and even young people, you know, 18 and up. Right, you can apply for this program because, you know, when you're discussing these things with your peers, if you're able to provide them resources, then they're like, oh, okay, so you do know a thing or two about this, right? Thank you for that information. Mm-hmm.
That is really good. And also, I know we were talking earlier, Isaiah, about because we just came back from a conference.
Oh, nice.
We just came back from our community action agency conference. So I know all great minds get together so they can compose. What is your last conference then?
Yes, I attended the Community Health Worker Summit. And it was really great. All of the community health workers from across Georgia were there. Oh, so, wow. You know, this was, and it was really interesting because a few of the participants who are in my program attended, right? Wow. Okay. Yeah, because they're like, oh yeah, this came across my desk and I wanted to actually get out here and talk with other community health workers who are actually out here in the workforce doing this job every day. So it was really nice to see them in attendance. But, you know, just getting to network with all of these wonderful people who are out there on the front line, right? Helping their communities and just hearing their stories of how it came to be. Some of these people, you know, had never heard of a community health worker before, but they were helped by someone who was a community health worker. So it piqued their interest. And remember, I said, if you're able to empower your community to advocate for themselves, then they can go on and advocate. Perfect example of quite a few of the community health workers I got to meet. They were in need of resources and someone helped them access that resource and they got to talking with them and like, oh yeah, I'm a community health worker, and sparked their interest, right? Lo and behold, now they're community health workers. This conference was really beneficial for me. I am not a community health worker. I train them, right? I'm in workforce development. I train them. So just getting to meet them and hear their stories and really get a better understanding of, because, you know, when people are, we're recruiting people for this program, they want to know, okay, well, can I get employed? What does a salary look like, right? And there was a panel there that spoke about this whole trajectory in this particular career, right? And you know, what's the salary outcome for me if I start here as a community health worker? Where can I look to be in a few years, right? And we spoke about, you know, certain areas of focus that, you know, if you're a community health worker and you want to be retrained, maybe some other areas you can then focus on, right, to help try to build that.
Well, thank you so much for submitting some of your time with us today.
Of course.
And we have learned so much information. If you don't mind, can you please just drop your information one more time for your registration?
Sure. Again, my name is Memory Bacon, and my email is mbacon@msm.edu. We are currently recruiting. The recruitment process will end roughly August 31st, but we'll be recruiting all up into then and interviewing. We will start this next cohort in September 18th.
Okay.
That sounds great.
That sounds great. Once again, thank you so much, Ms. Memory, and we hope to be seeing you soon in our health fair.
Thank you so much for having me. I do
Ms.
appreciate
Sanders, can we please drop one more time for our donation link?
Yes, guys, please. We are looking for donations. We would love to partner with you. Please visit our website at www.claytoncountycsa.org.